Feminism is the belief that women should be allowed the same rights, powers, and opportunities as men. From its very outset, feminism has interacted with the media practically and critically. Understanding the power of communication technologies and the role of media forms for shaping social standards and visibility, women's lib crusaders have looked for ways into the media scene in hopes for fairer representation of women through and in men-dominated media professions. For generations, the feminist movement has forged ahead advocating for women's rights. Many scholars and activists assume that there are three distinctive waves of feminism, with the #MeToo movement marking a contemporary fourth wave. So why, after 176 years, roughly the beginning of the first wave of feminism, although feminism can be tracked back centuries, do we now hate the ultra-feminine? If I were to ask you to visualise a teen movie antagonist, you'd probably picture an inhumanly evil teen girl. So let's discuss that. To start with, you're most likely picturing someone with perfect hair, preferably blonde, that uses a lot of makeup, including an almost excessive amount of chapstick and or lipstick. They wear nice clothes. They've clearly spent a lot of money making their perfect wardrobe, which tends to have an emphasis of pink. A dreamy boyfriend by their side, upper middle class parents and lifestyle, and are almost always followed around by their loyal friends, or as I'd like to put it, minions. But why are they always blonde? Blondness suggests something inherent to female sexuality, and at the same time it is a mark of artificiality and a sign of glamour, a concept that in itself implies a high degree of construction. So blondness achieves the paradoxical result of being both banal, bordering on vulgar, and a sign of distinction. This is just one of the many contradictions, as blondness also rises, other binaries: purity versus sexuality, glamour versus trash, privilege versus being dumb. Now, what does this all mean for us? Well, because all these evil, vile teen girls look so similar, we start to project these learnt biases onto real people in our lives and actively try to go against these stereotypes. College students were surveyed about their teen movie viewing habits, gender-related beliefs and attitudes. Findings suggest that viewing teen movies is associated with negative stereotypes about female friendships and gender roles. As time's gone on, younger viewers now tend to take oppositional views on the media they consume, as attitudes towards femininity shift for the better. These are responses to 2000s media that the actors, writers and directors didn't expect us to have. It's these positions that cause us to look for acceptable expressions of femininity. So, what is the sweet spot of femininity? Why is it that Janice's eyeliner connotes creativity, but Regina's lip gloss connotes vanity and evil? Where is too far to fall on the spectrum of femininity? To look outside of 2000s teen movies, let's look at 2006, The Devil Wears Prada. In The Devil Wears Prada, the film aligns us with protagonist Andy, a young aspiring journalist who knows nothing of fashion. The exposition immediately situates her up on the spectrum of femininity. Andy's choice in clothing, food and footwear are juxtaposed by the morning routines of the extremely hyper-feminine and fashionable women. It already begins to build the link between femininity and evil sustained throughout the film. As the film progresses, she naturally becomes more interested in clothes and makeup and becomes more ambitious at work, all things she is penalised for by her boyfriend and friends around her. She undergoes the same character arc as Katie from Mean Girls. As they become more feminine in their appearance, they develop more negative traits that weren't apparent before, as if they become possessed by lip gloss and high heels. By both films ending, they are both restored to their earlier tomboyish style and their sweet dispositions. So, what do we learn from this as the audience? Well, I think Greta explains it best.
It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary. But somehow we're always doing it wrong. Like, you have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money, because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault.
By deciding that hyperfemininity is a marker of evil, media has planted the seeds of internalised misogyny in a lot of girls that couldn't find that sweet spot of femininity. Like we said, the media has a domino effect on the way we view ourselves and the girls in our lives. While these tropes were poisonous at the time, they are slowly being consumed in a way that nips taut misogyny in the butt, meaning future mean girls will be disliked because they're mean, not because they're girls. And we can all go back to liking pink and wearing what we want.